What's up, Gooners? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've got 3 crucial stories today that show exactly what Arsenal are planning. Let's jump straight into it. Gooners, Arsenal are reportedly in a fierce 3-way battle with Liverpool and Chelsea to sign Juventus forward Kenan Yildiz. And when you hear the numbers involved and the competition we're up against, you'll realise just how serious this is. According to Team Talk, the 20-year-old Turkish international has been heavily linked with a move to the Emirates Stadium ahead of the winter transfer window. Now we all know that sometimes agents use reported Arsenal interest as leverage to get better deals for their clients, so it's always worth being a bit skeptical. But this one seems real, Gooners. Here's the situation at Juventus. Yildiz has a contract until 2029, but despite being one of the lowest-earning players at the Allianz Stadium, he's established himself as a talismanic figure for the club. The old lady of Turin want to give him a new deal with a financial package that reflects his status. But here's the problem. Yildiz wants a bumper new contract and Juventus haven't been able to find an agreement with him. Negotiations have stalled, and that's where Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea come in. By taking advantage of this contract standoff, Arsenal are looking to finalise the operation and have been keeping a close eye on him before making a potential swoop. However, Juventus aren't in any rush to sell and want around £79 million if they're forced to part ways with him. Chelsea are particularly aggressive in this race. The Blues hold a long-term interest in the 20-year-old. They tried to sign him last summer, and they even launched a formal £62 million bid. Juventus rejected that offer, but Chelsea haven't given up hope. They're ready to make another formal approach if Yildiz gives any indication he's prepared to leave. So what kind of player is Yildiz? He's a right-footed left-winger by trade, but he's also efficient in the creative midfield role and comfortable with his weaker foot. He's established himself as one of the best young players in Serie A and has 7 goal contributions across all competitions this season. Now, some of you might be thinking, do Arsenal really need another left-winger? We've already got Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard, plus Gabriel Jesus and Noni Madueke can provide cover in that position if needed. But here's the thing, Arsenal could do with upgrading the left wing next year. Trossard's 30 years old, Martinelli has been inconsistent this season, and if either of them leaves, Arsenal need a top-quality replacement. Yildiz might be a shrewd acquisition if Arsenal can pull it off. He's only 20, so he's got his entire career ahead of him. He's already performing at a high level in Serie A, one of the most tactically demanding leagues in the world, and at £79 million, while expensive, he could represent good value if he develops into the player Juventus think he can be. The big question is whether Arsenal are willing to go toe-to-toe with Chelsea and Liverpool in a bidding war. Chelsea have shown they're willing to spend crazy money on young talent, and Liverpool are always smart in the market. This won't be easy, but if Yildiz's contract situation remains unresolved at Juventus, Arsenal have a genuine chance here. Andrea Berta has proven he can close difficult deals, and if the player is open to joining Arsenal, we could absolutely make this happen. Alright, let's dive deeper into the Antoine Semenyo situation, because this is a redemption story that Arsenal fans need to hear about. Arsenal Insider has exclusive details on what the club is thinking about the Bournemouth winger, and it's one of the most interesting transfer sagas we've covered. Arsenal are keeping very close tabs on Semenyo. Arsenal Insider understands that Arsenal are well aware of his £65 million release clause at Bournemouth and are actively monitoring his situation. Andrea Berta is planning to sign another attacker in 2026, and the Ghanaian international is firmly on their list of targets. Transfer expert Graham Bailey spoke to Arsenal Insider and confirmed that while Arsenal are unlikely to move for Semenyo in January, they're definitely interested for the summer. Bailey said, Arsenal sources do not dismiss themselves out of hand. He is one they are keeping tabs on and are aware of his situation. So Arsenal are watching, they're waiting, and if the opportunity presents itself, they could strike. But here's what makes this story absolutely fascinating. Semenyo grew up supporting Arsenal, and just like Gabriel Jesus before him, Semenyo was rejected by Arsenal as a youngster. Multiple times. Semenyo told The Athletic, I am an Arsenal fan. I don't conflict the two with my job. It is great to play against Arsenal, a team I have watched all my life, and I want to play for the top clubs as well. In order for that to happen, I need to prove it. He also spoke to Sky Sports about being turned down by several major London clubs between the ages of 12 and 16. He said, I went on trial to Arsenal, Fulham, Millwall maybe 4 times, and Charlton, but it was always the same thing. Come back in the next couple of months, see how you do, and every time I went, it just never went well. Think about that for a second. Semenyo went on trial to Arsenal multiple times as a kid. 4 times, and every single time he was told to come back later, see how he develops. Every single time it didn't work out. Now he's lighting up the Premier League for Bournemouth, and Arsenal are interested in bringing him back. That's a Hollywood-level redemption arc waiting to happen. Thierry Henry, Arsenal's greatest ever player, is a massive fan of Semenyo. When Thierry Henry rates you, you know you're special. That endorsement carries serious weight. Look, £65 million is a lot of money, but in today's market for a Premier League proven winger in his prime who's an Arsenal fan desperate to play for top clubs, it might actually be worth it. Especially if one of Martinelli or Trossard leaves next summer. Imagine the storyline if this happens. Arsenal rejects Semenyo as a kid. He goes away, works incredibly hard, proves everyone wrong, becomes one of the best wingers in the Premier League. Then Arsenal come back and say, "We were wrong, we want you now." And Semenyo gets to fulfill his childhood dream of playing for the club he supported growing up. That's the kind of story that gives you goosebumps, Gooners. And based on everything we're hearing from Arsenal Insider, it could genuinely happen in summer 2026. Arsenal have already done this once with Eze, who was also rejected by the club as a youngster. Bringing him back has been a massive success. Could Semenyo be next? Time will tell, but Arsenal are definitely watching. Now let's talk about Gabriel Jesus, because Mikel Arteta has revealed exactly how Arsenal plan to bring him back from his ACL nightmare, and it involves something pretty unusual. Over the international break, reports suggested that Arsenal plan to hold friendly fixtures for Jesus to build up his fitness before reintegrating him with the first-team squad for competitive games. Speaking in his press conference on Friday, Arteta confirmed that's exactly the plan. Arteta said, "Very good, so he's doing everything with the team at the moment for the last almost 2 weeks. We're going to give him some exposure as well internally with some games so he gets that fitness. But he looks really good in training and he's going to be a big addition to the team. So Arsenal are going to give Jesus minutes in secret behind closed doors friendly matches before throwing him into competitive action. After 10 months out with an ACL injury, it makes complete sense that they want to ease him back carefully. Usually, one option to get returning first-team players game time is to start them in an under-21 fixture. But the academy are currently on a winter break, with no matches until January 9th. So Arsenal will have to be more creative with Jesus, hence these internal friendly games. The hope is that when Jesus eventually does return to the pitch for Arteta's team, he'll bring the same form he was in pre-injury. The striker had 6 goals in 6 games before the match that ruled him out. If he can recapture even 70 or 80% of that form, he's going to be a massive asset. But here's the really important news. Jesus himself has shut down all the transfer speculation. In other Jesus news, the Brazilian international has confirmed that he's not in contact with other clubs and he doesn't intend to leave Arsenal in January. Jesus said there was never contact with another club. My wish, as I always say, is to return to Palmeiras, and Palmeiras also want me to come back. When I feel it's the right time to go back to Palmeiras, I'll decide that with Arsenal. So yes, Jesus still dreams of returning to Palmeiras one day, but he's made it crystal clear that now is not the time. He continued, "But we're talking about a player who has been out for 9 months and is now fighting to return to the team." Some journalists speak without any basis. After such a complex surgery, it makes no sense for me to leave the club now. That's Jesus directly calling out journalists who've been speculating about his departure. He's committed to Arsenal, he's focused on his recovery and getting back to his best, and he's not going anywhere in January. This is brilliant news for Arsenal. Jesus was in sensational form before his injury, and having him back for the second half of the season, along with Gyökeres and Havertz, gives Arteta incredible depth up front. That's 3 quality strikers competing for one position, which is exactly what you need when you're fighting on multiple fronts. The behind-closed-doors friendlies are a smart approach. It allows Jesus to get match sharpness without the pressure of competitive football, and it protects him from media scrutiny if he's not quite ready yet. When he does make his competitive return, probably sometime in December, he'll be as prepared as possible. So there you have it, Gooners. What do you think, Gooners? Should Arsenal go all out for Yildiz? Are you excited about Jesus' imminent return? And would you love to see the Semenyo redemption arc happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an Arsenal update. Until next time, Gooners, come on you Gunners!